We did it.
Hello. Yeah, we did it. It's a
I
thing.
think we did. I think we did it. Everyone's here. I think.
Is every single person here, though? Because if they're not, they're in big trouble.
I don't know. I don't know. We don't know what to expect for the SuperCast. We're on all 3 YouTube channels. We're on all of our Twitters. We're everywhere. I don't know. We are everywhere. We are literally all at the same places at the same time. And I'm hoping that this works good.
We're in space travel.
Space travel.
We are broadcasting on Mars. I believe we got the Jupiter stream set up. So, no excuses. No excuses.
Yes. So for those of you on Greg or my channel, which we'll say this again before we get started on the actual podcast, welcome to GadgetCast, the thing we've been talking about in our videos for a long time. And we've been telling you should be coming to, right?
Right.
And we want you to experience GadgetCast. So we figured, why not do it here for the end of the year?
Yeah, it's more like a force thing. Like we said in the videos, you should check out GadgetCast, and it's like, well, obviously there's a lot of subscribers who don't check out GadgetCast, so we figured we would just take the forceful approach. Just glue your eyes open, tape them open, and you don't have a choice. Now you have to be here. Now you have to watch us talk about tech, or you can turn it off, and that's another option. But that's less fun.
Yes, indeed. So much hype for the first time ever. The show is live in North Korea. That's excellent news.
Yes, we are live in North Korea. So,
and Alan gets us started.
We did have a viewer one time who said they were from North Korea.
We know they were lying, though.
Oh.
Yes. Alan, thanks for the super chat.
True.
We don't know on which channel. I think that's on my. Is that on Get? I don't know which channel it's on. It's fine. It doesn't matter. Hello, Harry. How you doing? We appreciate everybody for joining us on this end of year GadgetCast, the SuperCast 5000. Now, I don't know. I'm curious because my current counts show something I know is wrong because YouTube be like that sometimes. Yes, we are probably going to be doing calls.
Yeah, end of the show, we'll do some calls.
Yeah. This is going to be crazy because it's funny. Usually by now I have about 80 or 90 people watching on my live streams, and I have 16 people watching on my channel. Oh, it's going to be interesting, but that's all right. Overall, about 70 people. So we'll see what happens as we get into it. We appreciate everyone for joining us, and GadgetCast is here for y'all. And yes, we will be doing calls, but you will need to come to the GadgetCast YouTube channel. And to be able to get that link. And yes, we will be talking about the Apple car, Steve. Yes. Settle down. Yes. Split 3 ways, the 504 for the 504. We appreciate you. 504. Jack Kelly. Who are you, Travis? Cool. I'm cool. We got the Epic Space Travel. GadgetCast year in review. SuperCast is here. We are here across 3 channels and multiple YouTubes. I don't know. We have more people somehow live on the GadgetCast channel than on my home channel, which is suspicious. Did it send out alerts on that my live stream send out notifications? Good goodness gracious. What is going on here? All right. Well, who cares? That's right, Han Solo.
Yes.
What'd you guess?
That's me.
March, man, Simon. What a time. What a time. Indeed. Yeah, this is crazy, Will. I don't know what's happening. I think my channel got canceled without me knowing. I don't know why.
Harry says he didn't get a notification.
Something happened with the notifications. I wonder why.
Maybe we're canceled.
Interesting. Why didn't it send? I'm looking right now. I wonder if that's something that StreamYards does not help with. I got Travis notification. Okay. So many live notifications. We got all the live notifications. Just got Greg's channel notification.
They just got it. So maybe
Steve's didn't get mine.
Maybe they'll keep coming in
for all 3 channels. But no. Okay, cool. All right. So yeah, it's just, I think people are just going to show up. All right, cool. Rusty Chain just got notified. All right, everybody.
On mine now. It's slowly building up.
It's starting to build up a little bit.
26. Look at this. The numbers are going up, people. Numbers are going up. 29. Look at this. I think the notifications are hitting the stream. I think people are being alerted of the Super Show.
Super Show is here.
Fernando from Ecuador. Hello, sir. How are you? Got
Fernando's in the house.
Fernando is in the house. Welcome to the GadgetCast. This is the weekly show we do every week on Sunday, 5 p.m. Eastern Time on the GadgetCast channel. For those of you joining late, we're just doing this one time. This is a one-time deal. We're doing it on all the channels. But if you like the show, you should go subscribe to the GadgetCast YouTube channel, because then you can see it every week.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. All right. So I guess we want to go ahead and let's talk about Luke Skywalker. Will Duke Miami be? I don't know if Duke shows up. You never know. You never know. We got all the people here. Okay. So what this is right now, it's just the pre-show where we just kind of chitter chat, have a little good time.
Yeah,
and then we're gonna go.
This is
this is not the real show. This is not what you normally get. You're gonna get a polished show. And then in the aftercast, we're gonna have people call in. If you want to call in, you will have to be in the GadgetCast YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/GadgetCast. I think there may or may not be a link in the description. I'm not sure.
I'm gonna post the GadgetCast link in my chat right now. That is the GadgetCast channel. If you're interested in talking to us at the end of the show, which is probably going to be in about an hour, we do the show for an hour. We'll start taking calls towards the end of there. Make sure you're in that other YouTube channel. If you're watching on my main channel, I won't be offended if you drop off this stream and go to the other channel. That's kind of what I want you to do. So if all 33 watching on my channel go to the other channel, that is good in my book.
Yes. All right. So we're gonna get started here. I'm gonna keep trying up with the chat as much as I can. Overall, we have 137, which is a good number. That's a good number to start with.
There we go.
We're starting to get there. All right. So why not get started with the SuperCast, the first ever SuperCast, where we're across all of our YouTube channels and just having a good old time. Thanks everyone for the birthday wishes. Greatly appreciate it. You guys and gals are amazing. I appreciate you guys. Thanks to our knowledge previews, getting comfortable purchasing a new iPhone. If I don't get it, I do thank you. Well, we thank you for being here. As we talked about at the end, we'll do an aftercast and people will be able to call in. You'll need to be on the GadgetCast YouTube channel. We'll share the link there. Willie Doo may make a cameo. We never know. Hello from Ireland. Okay. I think it's about time to get into GadgetCast. I think everyone's here. People are coming in.
You guys are in for a treat.
Yes.
It's going to be so special.
Make sure as people come in that you welcome them and thank them for coming to GadgetCast, as we will be talking. We'll be hot and heavy. We'll be hot and heavy in here. So, if we miss a couple things, that's because we're into the incredible knowledge we're going to be sharing with you guys and gals. I'm sure. I think that's what's going to happen. I'm not real sure. All right. Let me go ahead and change the banner up. We're going to go from the beforecast into regular. And then are you set up for recording?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, this is a good point by Gabriel. How many people are going to hear space travel for the first time? Probably a lot. Probably most people. All right. Well, GadgetCast is about ready to go live. We're even in Iran, which is amazing. Welcome. Yep, it's going up. Overall, we had 130, so that's good. All right, everyone, let's get ready to get this
show before they drop off. And what is this? What is this?
Yeah, exactly. All right, everybody, we're going to start the GadgetCast in 3, 2, 1, record.
Discovery's 4 computers now have primary control of critical vehicle functions.
3, 2, 1, 0, 0.
Hello, world, and welcome to the biggest GadgetCast live stream yet. My name is Gregory McFadden, joined always with my co-host, Travis MCP.
Nice to be in orbit.
Space travel.
You were way off on that one, Greg.
That's all right. Time left. Oh my God.
So excited to get to it.
It's the nerves getting to me. The other time I messed it up and I cut in on the space travel, which is sacrilege. But this time I was a little nervous because we're broadcasting to so many people. And I was like, oh no, I don't want to mess it up. But then I messed it up because I got too nervous. I should have let it go a little bit longer. Should have said something extra.
Yeah, well, so what's happening for the audio podcast listeners, of which there are many, as we talked about last week, we are simul streaming across all of our YouTube channels. And we're having a good old time. People are here watching us actually from not only there, but also on Twitter and everything else. We are worldwide. We're trying to break the internet.
Yeah, global, one might say.
Yes, we are definitely global. We're having a good time here on GadgetCast. We're going to have our essentially end of the year kind of GadgetCast where we talk. And what we are hoping is that a lot of the people that are hearing us for the first time across our YouTube channels will be interested to watch GadgetCast and become a member, or maybe even subscribe to the YouTube channel. YouTube.com/GadgetCast is where we are on YouTube. So we're excited to get started for GadgetCast to end 2020. It's been a strange year, Greg.
Oh, what a year it has been. 2020 might go down on record as the worst year yet. But for how bad it has been just in general, actually a pretty interesting year for technology. And I think there was a lot of interesting technology that's come out, a lot of exciting stuff. So it's kind of weird to be in this time period where it's kind of like a bad year overall. But if you really look back at the technology side of it and see all the new releases that we got, actually a pretty interesting year, a pretty jam-packed year, to be honest. It was a lot of content for a while. We're coming off that now, but man, oh man, there was a lot of stuff to cover. So it has definitely been an interesting year. We'll say that much.
Yeah, I think it's important to put into kind of, I don't know, we just need to state the obvious. It was difficult for a lot of people. It changed the world perhaps forever. And, while we'll have fun, make jokes and have a good time, we got to respect the fact that it changed a lot of things. Like when I go around to a mall now, I see all the different places that have closed, the different restaurants and stores that have closed. I don't just see the store closed. I think about the people who lost their jobs, which to me is just, that's a rough thing. That's a rough thing. I don't like to see that. So we will definitely pay our respects to the people that are out there struggling right now. We're all trying to get through this mess. Hopefully by 2021, maybe next year, this time it'll be a distant memory and we'll go, remember that crazy 2020? Hopefully that's what's going to happen. But for now,
I think so.
Yeah, we just need the GadgetCast fan base to get together and love on each other and really just support each other. We appreciate you for coming through.
Yes, always great to have people listen every week. And it's it's the fun thing about this job, when people are so distant from each other, it really is nice to come on here every week, always have a conversation with everyone, not to start the show off on a sappy note, but that is one of the blessings of 2020.
Yeah, indeed. And what we're looking forward to next year is more incredible tech, hopefully for less money. This was a very expensive year. We're talking about from Samsung and Apple. Like really, if you think about it, Samsung started the year off with some very expensive phones, and we ended the year off with a very expensive pair of headphones. And while all the tech itself were very good, like both S20s were great. All the S20s were great. The Note 20s were great. The iPhones were great. The headphones are great. All that stuff was great. They were all expensive, man. Holy monkey.
Yeah. So what did we start the year off? We started the year off with the S20 Ultra being a $1,400 phone. And it really did start the year off really expensive. And it seems like Samsung might be walking that back a touch. But yeah, ending the year with $550 headphones certainly doesn't come cheap. Although, looking at 2020, I think there's been a lot of good deals along the way too. Things like the Pixel 4a, the iPhone SE, right? That doesn't even feel like it came out in 2020.
I know, right?
The new M1 Max, which I think are just fantastic deals for the money, especially that Mac Mini and that MacBook Air. So as expensive as tech is getting for some of the segments, maybe it's more of like luxury tech. I feel like there's also a lot of tech that you could, if you bought it last year at the same price, you'd get a much worse experience. Now, if you go and buy it today, it's very hard to find, and it's very hard to find technology that's truly awful. And that wasn't the case if you go back like 5 years ago. There were some really bad, awful products where you'd be like, don't get that. And it's becoming extremely rare to find a product that is truly awful. If someone comes up to you and they're like, I got, S20, S21. Well, S21's not out yet. I got an S20. I got a Pixel 5. I got an iPhone 12. even if you don't like those phones or you choose another phone over it, I don't think you could really go to that person and go, that phone's awful. What a bad experience, And that's a great thing. Like tech it's mature and it's very rare that you're going to get these bad experiences.
Yeah, it's really important, I think, to also look at like you said, some of the great tech that came out at an appropriate price. The Galaxy S20 FE, which won MKBHD's Phone of the Year. Like you said, the Pixel line, the SE. I guess the Mini. I guess if you want to say that iPhone 12 Mini, I guess you could maybe throw that in there. Yeah, I mean, there's been some appropriately priced tech out there, and I'm hoping for more of that in the future. To me, like especially with M1 chips on laptops and hopefully desktops. I'm hoping that will help kind of push forward some of the pricing structure on the Apple side of things. As far as Samsung goes, I think hopefully they've learned a lot this year and realized that moving forward, they need to have a more budget priced product. And I believe the S21 FE winning the Phone of the Year from MKBHD will definitely make them do that, because if for no other reason, that's a great marketing ploy, right? To be able to say, hey, it was Phone of the Year by MKBHD, and people really respect his opinion. So hopefully we'll see more of that in 2021. The thing is, and you always have to remember this, all these products are actually manufactured and created like a year or so in advance, sometimes more. It depends on the product. So what we're going to find next year may have started to be worked on this past year, maybe even the year before, depending on what aspect of it we're talking about. But I believe the pricing structure will be in place for next year, hopefully. Fingers crossed, anyway.
Yeah, I think, we were talking right in the beginning about how much this situation has kind of changed the world and how much technology has honestly played a role in it. Remember the great webcam shortage when we were doing the show at the beginning of the year? People couldn't even buy a webcam. People were taking their old Logitech C920s and selling them on eBay for like $150, $200.
Yep.
And there's a lot more remote work. I think a lot of that remote work might be a permanent thing. A lot of the big companies are even kind of learning this. Companies like Apple now, a lot of their staff are working remotely at home. And for some of the divisions there, they found that, they actually worked more productively because maybe they didn't have to drive into the office. Maybe their stress load was reduced from working at home. But for whatever reason, they got their jobs done faster. And that's going to be a permanent change at companies like Apple. Certain divisions are going to stay home, or a vast majority of them will stay home. And, the technology, if this happened 20 years ago, what we're going through now, we would not be equipped to handle it. In a way, this was really a stress test that happened at almost like the perfect time to test out the capabilities of remote work. And people had the right computers, people had the right equipment, and now you just have like this caliber of stuff where like you could do like a broadcast at home. Like how many of our favorite shows and stuff like that had to switch over to doing the show remotely, and they had to get in all this equipment there. And as long as you had an internet connection and all this gear, you could do a broadcast from anywhere.
Yep, 100%. Actually, real quick, there is a question in the chat. We talked about this last week, the knockoff loop. We never got. Now you have received your braided loop for your Apple Watch. So let's talk briefly about that, because the people that are watching, they're listening to GadgetCast, the audio podcast, they heard last week what I thought of mine, but now you have yours and you can compare it to the real thing. So tell us about the knockoff braided solo loop. Yeah,
I didn't even mean to wear it for this show, so it's a good thing I did. So the knockoff braided solo loop, for those of you that don't know, I mean, it's an Apple Watch strap. You buy it from Apple. It's $100, right? It's like this one continuous loop. It's kind of stretchy. You can pull it over your wrist. For those of you watching on video, it's a little bit easier to demonstrate. For audio, you'll have to use your imagination, but take it on, put it on like that. Overall, this is like a $20 knockoff. For $20, man, it's kind of hard to complain, right? When Apple's charging $100. And I think the look is there, right? Like if you're looking at it from here, I think you would think, oh, that's the Apple one. Now on closer inspection, if you get up close to it, I took a picture and people were able to pick which one was the knockoff when I put them side by side. Some of like the details you can kind of see, it's not as nice as the Apple one. You can kind of see like going towards the top over here, you can kind of see it's like some of the strands are a little bit loose, where on the Apple one, it's like perfectly uniform. And then even like the connectors are different. So the Apple one, like when it connects into the Apple Watch, like the fabric goes all the way in. It kind of creates like this nice effect. They kind of hide like the stainless steel connector on the inside. This one uses like a traditional Apple Watch connector, and it's like color matched. So you can see like on my silver one, you could see like the red connector right there, where if this was the Apple one, you would just see like the red fabric going into here. You wouldn't even see this connector out on there. But comfort wise, it feels pretty similar. Material wise, I think the Apple one does feel like better if you like run your finger along it. Again, I think it's, it's higher quality, but is it worth $80 more to you?
Right.
Probably not. For most people, I think most people would be pretty happy with the $20 knockoff. If you want this kind of band where it's just a single thing, you slip it on, and you want something that's like custom fitted to you, they have all the same sizes that Apple does.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it works. It works well. I'm wearing it right now. So that's, I didn't even plan to wear it, and I'm wearing it now, which I think that's all
that says a lot.
That it works well.
Thanks, Frank, to the super chat, to the GadgetCast, saying we are positive experience of difficult year. Listen, that's what we were trying to do. I mean, this year we got to, we really tried to be something fun and interesting to take your mind off the craziness of what has been going on this year. So I'm glad that you saw the value in GadgetCast. Again, youtube.com/GadgetCast if you're watching on the live stream or listening back later.
Yeah, it just bears repeating. If you're watching this on my channel, if you're watching this on Greg's Gadgets, or if you're watching this on Travis's channel, this is a one-time thing. I don't think we're ever doing this again, or very rarely. But you should go subscribe to the GadgetCast channel. I'll post that in my YouTube chat right now. And if you want to leave, and go, leave my channel and go watch it on the GadgetCast channel and subscribe over there, I'm not offended. Go do that. Right. I'd actually prefer that. And we'll get the GadgetCast channel bumping. This is a show we do every week on GadgetCast, a one-time thing here. So if you don't want to miss the show, go subscribe over.
Bring your booty over. A New York fan forever says, it's been a crazy year. Great creators and shows on YouTube have been a great outlet for me, as I'm sure it's for so many out there. Greg and Travis, thank you for all you do. Jonathan from New Jersey, we appreciate you, Jonathan, so much for being a staunch supporter of the channel. We greatly appreciate that.
He is one of the diehard GadgetCast fans. So
100%. We greatly appreciate that. Someone said he's 60, only looks 40. I'm not 60. That was a joke. I just let people troll me on that. All right, so yes, the higher so knockoffs is actually something I've been waiting for those loops, because for me, I wanted the loop look, I just didn't want to pay the loop money. For me though, I for $20, it's worth. This way I can get multiple colors, and if I lose it or it has a problem or something, I don't have to worry about going to Apple and trying to get it. I just buy another one. It's done. I got 5 colors for the price of one Apple color, and it's close enough. It's close enough.
Here's how I view it, and this is how my purchasing process went down with this knockoff band. And by the way, like knockoff Apple Watch bands, they're a thing. Like you can find a knockoff sport band, the leather bands, the Milanese loop, and they're all like $20, where like the Apple ones are like 50 or 100. So you can find these knockoff bands everywhere. And I've tested like a lot of these knockoff bands over the years, and they're always like slightly worse quality, but like it's like you wear them and it's like it gets you 95% of the way there. If you want that extra 5% for the Apple one, it's worth it in a way where it's like, listen, if you're trying to make sure like everything looks pristine and you have that like one nice band that like you're going to wear to like a special event and look really nice, I think it's kind of like worth it in a way. Like I'm kind of glad I have the official Apple one, because it's that extra step where it doesn't need to be. Like they make sure like it looks pristine out of the box. They make sure it lays flat. Like this one, like they probably have like a less rigorous like manufacturing process where they're like, oh, there's like a loose thread on that one. Well, it's just one loose thread. Go ahead and ship it. It's $20. Whereas the Apple one, it's going to be like pristine when you get it. So in that way, it's worth it. But I'm with Travis. Like I got that one Apple band, and then I was like, well, I kind of want a different color for Christmas. I want a red one. I saw Renee Ritchie have one, and I'm like, I want the red one. That looks nice. Yeah, I'm not going to buy the second Apple one for another $100. I got my one. Every other color I get of this is probably going to be a knockoff at this point. So I got the one good one. I'll wear that when I want to be like extra fancy, but it gets you 95% of the way there. I don't think most people would be like, that's a knockoff, especially if you're not like holding them side by side going, can you tell which one? Like, I think if I just wore this I should do that. I'm gonna get a new color. Well, now people are gonna know. I'm gonna go on Twitter and be like, I got a new Apple Loop. How do you like it?
How do you like it? Exactly. And see if people can pick it
You
out.
should do that, Travis. Yeah.
I love this idea from Kelvin saying, can we have a 2020 Gadgies award sort? Who was a creator of the year? And I think he means like tech of the year, creator of the year, all that stuff. That's really interesting. Who would your creator of the, like, who do you like to watch? Who do you like really just genuinely like to watch on YouTube? Like, who do you watch and you're just happy to watch that person?
I love Viper, so that's I'm a big fan of Viper. I'll watch his stuff all the time. Rene Ritchie, I watch a lot of his stuff too. Super intelligent guy. I just feel so dumb when I watch his content, but I gotta watch. I gotta try and get smarter, even though I don't seem to. I gotta at least put in the effort. But yeah, there's so many great channels out there. Luke Miani, friend of the show, also has a really great channel, a lot of interesting content on there. Jonathan Morrison, like every time he puts out a video, I try and make an effort just to go watch it. Audio reviews, El Jefe reviews, you got to watch him. He's the best. So many people. I'm missing so many names, but that's kind of like who I watch for in the tech creator space. But my subscription feed is full of just like great creators. John Prosser, yep. Didn't want to miss that one. John Prosser also every time there's a front page tech, I got to rush and go watch it.
Yeah, a lot of people. Some great names. Snazzy Q was in there. El Jefe was in there. Aaron Zolo.
In the chat, what's your favorite creator? Who do you got to rush and go watch? Don't say us. We're not going to be offended,
Yeah, it's fine. You don't have to watch us. Which non-tech YouTubers you like to watching? That's actually, I was actually going to say Mr. Mobile. I love to watch Mr. Mobile.
Mr. Mobile, good.
Yeah, and he's been on the show. So, by the way, for people that are new to the GadgetCast show, we actually have interviewed and had Mr. Mobile on the show. So make sure you go back and check out some of those things. Aaron from Mr. Who's Boss is really great too. Painful Not Sec, we love Jason. Jason's a good friend.
Yeah. There's certain videos I have to watch by certain people too. That's like the great thing. When Flossie put up his AirPods Max review, I rushed to go watch it. I just needed to know what he thought about them for some reason. I just had to know. I'm like, what does Flossie think about these? It's such a controversial product. I want to hear what Flossie has to say about it. And yeah, there's certain creators like it's that type of video, and I gotta rush. I gotta hear what they gotta say.
Yeah, a lot of people are throwing out their favorites here. I update. Just a lot of people in the chat. Your Average Consumer are giving out some really great names. Brandon Butch, I know Brandon's a good buddy. So yeah, definitely some great creators. And this year I think it made the importance of creation and being on YouTube and stuff really important because for some people it was their only escape from everything else that was going on. So definitely want to make sure that everyone shouts those people out. Like some great channels here on YouTube. So if you're not familiar with some of the channels, go check them out. That's right.
Patrick Tomaso, really great guy. Gary the Everyday Dad, great channel.
Yep.
Just stuff. So there's a lot on here. Now I will say though, like I gotta be pretty selective now because there are so many great creators. Like I said, certain videos I go to certain people, and there's times where I got to get into content, especially if I'm doing like the same thing. Like Rene Ritchie video, if he puts out a review of something, I kind of have to wait to watch it. Sometimes I'll watch his analytic videos, right? Like it's like, oh, I don't have to watch it. But if he puts out like a review, it's kind of like I don't want his thoughts to influence me, so I kind of wait and I'll kind of like backlog that. And then once my review's over, I'm like, let me see what Rene thought about this. Let me see what Luke thought about this. But there are times where it's sad, like they'll get the product early, and it's like I really want to watch that video, but I'm gonna have to wait, So that's like the hardest part about being like a tech YouTuber. All the people I used to watch and like would anticipate their videos coming out, it's almost like I just gotta like put them on hold for a little bit. It's like, oh, okay, Jonathan just put out a great video. I'm sure it's like the best thing ever. I'm sure it's shot beautifully, and it's like I'm gonna have to put you in the bookmarks. We're gonna have to wait.
Speaking of Rene, as we talked about earlier, Rene Ritchie on the chat. Thanks for all the great streams. Don't spend us all on cancellation wigs. We appreciate you. We literally just got done talking about Rene. Appreciate you for shouting that out. Definitely make sure you check out Rene's channel if you have not. He had so many videos recently. Aaron, Mr. Who's Boss is amazing as well. Gary Sims and Gary Explains. Help me understand. I haven't heard of Gary Explains before. Do we think an iPad Mini 6 will come out in March? Do we think anything's coming out in March?
Yeah, I think so. I feel like it's a long time to wait between, like mid-June is when products would come out. I feel like we're going to get some March stuff. I think an iPad, a regular iPad and an iPad mini, that sounds right to me. There was rumors that we're going to get a new iPad mini. I think that's the perfect time to drop something like that. So I hope we see it. I like the mini a lot. I'd love to see a modern version of the mini.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, the thing is, the reason why we didn't see one this year is because it got the A12, which the normal version of the iPad just got this year. So there's no reason to update it at all. So we'll see if that even happens next year. It'll be really, they could skip another year because it is, I mean, they probably won't, but they totally could. I mean, they could do that.
Oh, they could, and they might. These are all rumors. We really don't know, but the rumor seems to be update to the iPad, and the iPad Mini was an older rumor, but we'll see that. We're also going to probably see an iPad Pro during that time. I don't think it's going to take that long for the iPad Pro to come out because you have this iPad Air currently with an A14 chip in it, and I think the average person goes into a store, they see the iPad Air, they see the iPad Pro. If they really look at that spec sheet, they're going to go, A14, that's better than A12. Z. So I'm going to get that one. And I think Apple really wants to get that replaced quickly. They want an iPad Pro with an A14X out there. And the next iPad Pro is rumored to get like new display technology. So that's actually pretty exciting. It's going to be one of the bigger iPad updates, not just a chip refresh based on the rumors. So I'm really excited to see that new iPad Pro, because right now the iPad Air, honestly, for most people, I feel like that's the recommendation. It's cheaper than the Pro and just as fast, if not faster, at doing the things that people want to do on an iPad. It's a great tablet. It's a great time to get an iPad, honestly, with that Air.
Yeah, and I'm still phone wise. I'm still a OnePlus hopeful. Like I still love my OnePlus 7 Pro. I know that they've leaked the 9 Pro and that it's not going to have an uninterrupted display, which is kind of one of my things that I really loved about the OnePlus 7 Pro. But I'm still going to keep my fingers crossed for the 9 Pro being amazing. Next year, I'm really looking forward to that. Of course, any new iPad Pro that has an actual upgrade, we got a quote upgrade, was more as a side grade this year, which was really a waste of my money, other than the fact that I got a bigger version of it, a bigger screen, the 12.9. But next year is going to be more interesting, Greg. I know you'll buy it specifically for your channel, but there's almost less reason than ever to get an iPad Pro when even the Air is performant on that level. And obviously you get a full operating system behind it. So once upon a time, we were like, can you use an iPad to replace your laptop? And it's like, yeah, because it's so powerful and it's not as expensive. Well, now you have these laptops that are not terribly expensive and are super powerful. So now it almost makes the pros kind of go, Yeah,
I think I've heard Renee talk about this. Speaking of Gary, we've talked about this privately. These new M1 MacBooks really kind of almost negate the need for an iPad. And this sounds strange, right? You're like, what do you mean negate the need? A lot of us for a long time wanted an iPad that ran Mac OS in a way, right? We love the iPad. It was instant on. It was so snappy. It was so performant. And we're like, can we get Mac OS on that so I can run Final Cut? And I think what it's really turning out is we really just wanted those chips and that level of Apple, customization, not customization. What am I looking for? Performance, Apple performance, Apple integration. Integration's the right word. With their chip design, they control the hardware and the software, and that's what we got with these M1 Macs. So a lot of us who want it like Mac OS on an iPad are just going like, well, actually, what we really wanted was the architecture for their chip designs in their laptops. And because these new MacBooks, like they're instant on, right? You open the lid and it turns on before you even open the lid up fully. For me, I'm using my iPad less than I've ever had before. I bring the laptop to the couch. I open it up. You're not hearing that annoying fan spin, especially, the MacBook Air. It won't spin. Even on the Pros, though, you never really hear it. They don't get hot, right? You get an Intel MacBook. You bring it to the couch. You're sitting on there watching YouTube videos and Chrome for an hour. Your lap's starting to heat up. You're like, get this thing off me. With an iPad, it wouldn't do that. So it's kind of like that experience. It kind of is what we wanted, an iPad running Mac OS, but it's just like, oh, well, yeah, take the iPad chips, put them in the Macs because they're beating Intel at everything. And even like the battery life, it is crazy how well Apple did for their first attempt at these M1 Macs. I think almost like everyone who's reviewed them was kind of expecting it, but also surprised at the same time of like, they just got almost every single thing right about them, even to the point where like you have someone as, Linus Tech Tips. I'd love to have him on the show one time. I love his content, and I love how he takes a different approach. He has such a different mindset from me of how I would approach a review, but he was so skeptical about these computers. And then once he actually got, he put them, he was as skeptical. He was the most skeptical guy, I think, out there about these new M1s. But he got him in. He started doing the tests. And now you can see, like, he's legitimately excited for Apple's, like, next chip because he knows this is something special here. And it's going to be interesting to see in 2021, in 2022. Does anyone on the Windows side, Intel, AMD, Microsoft themselves are going to start making their own chips? Can they actually compete with Apple here? Can they make a better product?
Yeah, I really want to know, like, how this. I'm excited because, and I think what people didn't understand when these came out was the same excitement that I had for this, I had for the Amazon Echo when it was very first announced. When it was very first announced, there wasn't a lot of things it could do. It could do some things. It couldn't do a lot of things, but I was super amped, and I was one of the first. I was right in the beginning where you had to have an invite to buy it. I bought it right away because one of the things they said in the marketing got me super excited. All updates happen in the cloud. That means what it is today is going to be completely different than what it is and now. And right now, the Echo does so much stuff that wasn't even on people's minds when it was announced. Like, it has a screen for one thing. And I feel the same way with this, is like when you start looking at like how big the needle moved with this particular processor, the fact that the battery life is crazy good, the performance per watt is really important. Some people don't really realize like how big of a deal that is. This is a needle mover in every single way, and not just for Apple. It's going to make Intel and AMD step their game up. So that means Windows laptops, Android tablets, like everything should get some type of boost because Apple is coming out here making people look like fools. And as a matter of fact, they're getting into something else we were actually going to start the show with. They're getting into cars, and I'm not even sure I understand this.
Yeah, so you're going to have to wait a while to see this, if we even see it with the car stuff, because Apple's rumored to be working on a car, and the earliest according to Reuters would be 2024. And I think Ming-Chi Kuo came out today and said, hold on, it's actually 2028. So we're looking at a pretty long timeline here. GadgetCast might not even be on when the Apple car comes out. So
and that's fine. But here's the thing. First of all, why the heck are they even doing that? Like, I don't even understand. I think maybe to push the industry forward. It feels like in some ways they see an industry and they go, you're not moving fast enough. So they come out with a processor. They come out with a tab. By the way, iPad was not the first ever tablet. iPhone was not the first ever, quote, smartphone. But it almost feels like Apple looks at the industry and goes, okay, who's going really slow? Okay, let's throw a product out there that's going to accelerate everything. And no matter how you look at it, and again, a lot of people on my channel, watch both Android and Apple videos. And I say this, and some of the Android fans get kind of upset, but it's true. When Apple does something, it legitimizes across the industry. And again, it's happening right now with the headphones and power jack. The power adapter that you're no longer going to see in some of these Android phones in 2021. Same thing. Apple did it. People made fun of them. Now you're going to see that all over the place. I really think that we're going to see a lot of changes in every industry that Apple sticks their foot in because it immediately legitimizes everything.
Yeah. Well, obviously, Apple's a company. They're looking to make money, right? They're looking at the market. They want to get into it. I think they do only really try and go for products they think they can move the industry forward a little bit, maybe compete, even with something like the HomePod, right? You go, why would they want to get into this? And with the HomePod, I think a lot of people, and rightfully so, would probably consider that a failure. We'll see how the Mini does. But even then, you have to admire that when they brought out the HomePod, they really wanted to move it from an audio side, which they did a great job on, but also a privacy side where really none of these other smart speakers were doing that. We're talking about the Amazon Echo, Google. They were really trying to collect all your data. So even if Apple was unsuccessful in that front, which I think to a large degree they were, you have to admire that they wanted to do it from a different angle. They wanted to try it differently and give you the choice of buying that. For the Apple car and stuff like that, I think the industry is moving slow, but you do have to give it to people like Tesla who seem to be trying to move the industry faster. But then you got to look at all the other car companies out there. You got to look at the Fords, the GMs, the Hondas, the Hyundais, whatever. Man, they are moving slow, even to get electric cars out there. Forget self-driving cars. I think the big thing with the Apple car is it wants to be a self-driving car. And obviously, when it's a self-driving car, it wants to be an electric car too. I think for Apple, though, I think they can maybe even see the threat of what if we didn't make a car? What if we didn't make a self-driving car? Now, I don't know about, when I used to work a regular job and I used to, there was a pretty portion of my day that I spent driving to and from work in my car. And some people drive a lot. And if you have self-driving cars, what are you going to be doing? If it's fully self-driving, you're not driving, you might be doing something else. And if Tesla owns your attention for that hour, that 2 hours, that's an hour or two that Apple doesn't have your attention. That's an hour or two you're not using your Apple device maybe. Maybe you're using Tesla's system. Maybe it's all integrated. And that is a big threat, I think, to Apple. We can even see it in what they're doing now in initiatives like CarPlay. Like they have like these systems that they'll do to like third parties. So if you go and buy like a Toyota, you can get like a CarPlay. That's Apple's version of like a connected auto experience. Mm-hmm. But even then, it's really not that great because Apple doesn't control the full experience of making the car, right? Like it's just one part of that car. So I really think it's kind of like an attention thing. I also think, like you said, they want to push that industry forward, and a lot of cars are going to have to be replaced, right? If we're really going to move to an all electric car system, and maybe there'll be some laws, that maybe they all have to be self-driving, because we know that human drivers are very bad at driving. Let's be honest.
Very, very error prone. And the funny thing is, so a lot of people have an issue with, getting in a car and letting it drive itself. Now, I've actually been in one in CES, and they actually had them for Uber. I think Uber or the other one. And you could ride in it. Now, there were people in the front that would be there in case of whatever, but it drove down the Las Vegas Strip, and it was driving. And the thing about self-driving cars is the more of them there are, actually the safer it is, because they can predict each other and communicate with each other. When you have humans, that's the part that's kind of suspect. If you have humans and self-driving, that's a problem. If they're all self-driving, it's actually safer than a bunch of humans that are on their phones when they're driving and sleeping when they're driving, and all these other weird human things that we do. So don't fear that. It's a good thing. It can only get better with technology. And will there be accidents? Of course. But I'm telling you, like, you need more of it in order to get to the point where it becomes the norm and it's the safest way to go.
Yes, totally agree. Good Eye says we're brainwashed by Apple. So I think that's funny for you that you're brainwashed by Apple. And he said he doesn't think the Apple car will change anything. So
I mean, maybe not. I mean, listen,
alternate viewpoint from Good Eye in the chat.
Nothing wrong with that, because if you think about it, the HomePod really hasn't changed anything.
That's true. I led with that. I said the HomePod was a failure,
but everything else has. Like pretty much everything else has. So it's more of a numbers game. Like, what are the chances? The chances are good that it will push something forward, even if it does. Look at the XFL. When that first came, not even talking this last iteration, the very first iteration of the XFL, which obviously failed, even though it didn't succeed, the NFL took a bunch of stuff from the XFL. So just because something itself doesn't do well does not mean that in the overall scheme of things, it doesn't push the industry forward. So I don't know if it'll be like first of all, an Apple car probably won't have any handles, among other things.
No. Yeah. Listen, this is going to be controversial, right? Because Apple releases a lot of costly products, right? They release a $550 pair of headphones, and you're like, what are they doing? There's all these jokes, right? The Apple wheels are going to be $1,000 on their car. Listen, I think, and we can revisit this in 4 years if they make a car. I feel like if Apple gets into the car business, I'm not expecting a luxury car. I'm expecting for Apple to find some way to bring us these technologies at a competitive price point. Because, when they do get into these new industries, when they got into AirPods, the first AirPods, to find a true wireless earbud at that price point, you actually really couldn't. The true wireless earbuds were more expensive than the AirPods. Now, after the market matured a little bit, now the AirPods are expensive. You can find great products like our Soundcore stuff really cheap, and they sound great. But when they first get into stuff, even like the iPhone, right? You compare it against some of the other smartphones back then, it wasn't like super expensive. So I think if Apple gets into the car business, I think their first car will be priced pretty competitively. I think we've seen that from them when they get into new products, something like the Apple Watch, something like the iPhone. I think they try and get as competitive, and then they'll make some versions that are pretty pricey. But we'll see. It'll be interesting to see what an Apple car looks like. And self-driving is one of those technologies that I personally am super excited for. I do not like driving. So the first company that can make a true self-driving car, if it's Samsung, if it's Tesla, if it's Apple, they got my money. I'm switching. Whatever. I'm gonna make that video. I'm switching to the Samsung car.
That'd be good. Yeah, I listen. At the end of the day, technology is getting really interesting. CES, which will still kind of happen virtually in a month, we'll still see some new technology come out of there. It won't be as fun because you won't be able to be there, but the technology is still coming out. A lot of these companies have had to change the way which they manufacture and do things. Video game companies that make video games have had to do a lot of it remotely, which is different for big files and stuff. So every company that has gone out there and really kind of changed the way they do business is going to succeed moving forward. Any company that does not move forward with how the world has changed is going to fall to the wayside. So it'll be interesting to see exactly who will follow the appropriate path moving forward, because as things get, quote, normalized, I don't think things are ever going to be truly normal again. I think we've gone to a point where one of my favorite quotes in a movie, Denzel Washington said that where you separate time in between, you separate time in two halves, before this and after this. And we're getting into the after this moment. And, that's going to look quite different than the before this. It's funny because as I watch older videos of life before this, I kind of cringe sometimes when you see so many people in a small place like PAX. I used to go to PAX all the time, and to see so many people butt to elbow. It's weird to think of that now. And I think while we will get a lot of people back in one place, manufacturing and a bunch of these companies are going to have to always have a remote system, something that they can fall back on in case something like this happens again, or it will wipe the companies out. So they really have to be cognizant of that moving forward.
Oh, I agree with you. Anything I watch now, I just have that in the back of my head. I'm like, why are all these people together? Oh, wait, this is a movie, Greg. This is real. Like, calm down. But like, yeah, I get that snap judgment in my head. Like, what are they doing? That's not safe. And it's like, oh, wait, it's a movie. We'll see. I think there will be some changes out of this. I also think that you already see people want to get back to normal without getting too much into it. So we'll see. Things might go back to somewhat close to normal faster than you might think based on people's behavior. Maybe you're not ready for it, but humans in general tend to want to connect. I don't think we'll ever lose that need to want to connect with other people, and even doing stuff virtually, which is great. You can get a lot of connection out of that. I think humans, they're social creatures. They want to be in the same room with each other. So we'll see how that progresses. But listen, we're getting towards the tail end of the show. We did want to do a wrap up of 2020 stuff, so let's not lose that. What do you think out of all the tech for 2020? What do you think like the best product is that we?
Ironically, I was going to say what we're going to talk about what the worst product was, but let's.
You want to do worst? Yeah. What do you want?
Let's start with worst. I don't really have either one in mind at the moment. I need to think of one. I don't know. Like, the funny thing is, if you say anything because of the cost, like if something's bad because of the cost, then immediately people will say, well, it doesn't mean that the product itself is bad, which is true. However, if you can't afford it, then what's the point? Like a Lamborghini is a great car, but I can't afford it. So it's the worst car I could talk about because I'm not going to get one. I don't know what Surface Duo. I see someone in chat saying.
Yep, that was going to be one of mine. Surface Duo, I think, really missed the mark. I think that's one of the. I started the show off by saying what a great time it is to be in tech. There's so many there's so few products that are truly bad products. And I think the Surface Duo is actually a bad product. Like, it's something that if I saw someone using, like if I saw someone using a Pixel 5 or, S20, I wouldn't be like, why are you using that? If I see someone using a Surface Duo, I might be like, what are you using that for? Like, is that like really a good product? You really enjoy the experience? I would be interested, because I really do view it as something that I personally could never use. So that would definitely be on my list. If you want to get out there, this is a technology product, even though we probably don't cover it. Something like Quibi was a complete failure from a streaming service standpoint. That was just awful from the get-go. I'm surprised like how that even came as an idea, and people thought it would actually be good. What did they burned through like almost like $2 billion in 6 months, and then it was canceled. So that was a complete failure.
Yeah, I see some people in the chat. I kind of don't disagree with the iPad Pro 2020 because it didn't do anything. They added a camera that I'm never going to use on my tablet, and one GPU that doesn't appear to ever do anything in any of the usage that I use. And I mean, it was good for them, but it wasn't good for me. I don't know if that's really an accurate statement. I just think it was a needless, not even totally good update. I'm seeing a lot of stuff. Greg is acting kind of sus though. Yes, the best product was the right after this, of course. MagSafe wallet. That's an interesting one. I've heard a lot of. It's a very polarizing product. It's a polarizing product.
I got mine right here. I love my.
It's a polarizing product.
So good.
Some people don't like it because it slides off too easy.
No, look at this. This is on whole time.
You love it, huh?
I do. I like it a lot. I like it a lot.
So what's the best product? I think for me, definitely the M1 processor. It's not a product itself, but goes into multiple products just because it's going to change the industry at large. Really, I believe that is the reason why it is a great kind of product. It's not even a product. It's a thing. You could say any of them. It doesn't matter. But the M1 processor is going to change everything moving forward, regardless if it's Apple or not. It's going to push everyone great. It's going to push all the other manufacturers greater. We're going to see some awesome products that have great battery life and great performance. So there you go.
Yeah. Mo says he likes the wallet, so I'm not alone. But Micah P says I glued the wallet. So that's a controversy. Did I glue the wallet? That'll be one of life's greatest conspiracy theories right there. I'm with you, man. I was hoping you didn't steal mine, but yeah, if you're asking me what the best tech product was of 2020, it's the M1 processor. It's not even the Macs themselves, right? Like the Macs themselves, they really weren't updated. They're kind of like the last thing. They kind of need updates. They're a little stale in the design, but that M1 processor really changed the game. If you're paying attention to it, if you're seeing why people are so excited. Now, listen, you can go out there and buy a MacBook Air, and for the most part, it's going to be a more performant computer than something like a 16-inch MacBook Pro. It has no right to be better. But for the vast majority of people out there, it's going to be a better product for you. Not only in terms of performance, which it can actually beat the 16-inch MacBook Pro in certain things with performance, but just from like battery life, the thermals on it, the instant on, it is just a better product. And that's one of the things I started the year off. I started 2020 with all these rumors, and you go back and watch my old videos and I'm like, I'm so excited for this technology. I can't wait to see it. But I think, we had Luke Miani on the show. We had Renee Ritchie. I think we did like a super show, and we were talking about like the M1 Max before they even came out at one point. And, I would think if we got all them in a room together, and these are super smart people, smarter than us, right? I think even they would be like, I am shocked how well this actually went for the first iteration. I think we all expected it could get there. But for like a first attempt, wow. And now everyone's like, what are they going to do next? Because in a way, how much better can they get? Like these are so good. How much better can they actually get? And that's going to be exciting to see.
I do want to say that I saw someone in chat mention the GadgetCast Q10s as the product of the year, and I agree. The Q10 headphones are amazing, but we have our own special for the people who have never seen our show before. GadgetCast logos on our made specifically by Soundcore, we love Soundcore. You can't buy them anywhere. We've given 2 away for fans, and we'll maybe in 2021 give away a couple more. But yes, definitely one of the and for the price, these headphones are incredible. So yeah, definitely love Soundcore. Soundcore in general, just amazing products for great price. Okay, so we have, for the people listening on audio podcast, we just want to say thank you and everything for this past year. We have an aftercast coming up where we're all the people that are watching in the live stream. We're going to give them an opportunity to like do some video calls. I don't know how this is going to go. Greg, I'm a little nervous about this, but we wanted to talk real quick to the audio listeners and thank them for the incredible growth this year. Wow. We want to hear more from you. We get to see all the people on YouTube. We love and adore them. But I'm very curious about our audio podcast listeners. I want to encourage them to go down to the show notes and send us some messages, send us some emails that Greg will not read, but I will make him check.
Yeah.
And I definitely want to say thank you for the support this year. It's been a weird year. I don't know if next year is going to be better or worse, but we're going to keep kicking out these podcasts for as long as y'all listening. And it seems like y'all listening a lot. So we definitely thank you for that. What do you got to say to these people, Greg?
No, yeah, we got a nice presence on YouTube, but by far the audio listeners are the backbone of this show. If it wasn't for the audio listeners, I'm going to be honest, we wouldn't be doing the show. Backbone. And I always feel bad because we did want to incorporate a live show aspect into this. We did want to reach out to people. But listen, if I'm listening to a podcast, 90% of the time, even if someone has a live show, I'm listening on audio too. So I'm with you there. That's how I absorb my podcasts. But we greatly appreciate it, but we would want to hear more from you. We interact with the people who are here because they are giving us the interaction. But if you're an audio show listener, check the show notes. There's so many ways to reach out to us through email, through voicemail, any way you want to do it. We're going to get to you. And if you leave it there, you're going to be on the show. Like if you leave a voicemail, it's guaranteed you're going to be on the show. Give a little plug to yourself. Say, I'm John and I, run Front Page Tech and, I'm a little channel and I need some help with subscribers. We'll give you that shout out that you've always wanted. So John from Front Page Tech, we'll give you that shout out if you leave a voicemail.
So for everyone in chat, we'll be doing basically a Q&A and call in. We're just going to start answering questions from the chat and some other stuff. For the audio listeners, we want to wish you a very safe and happy new year, where we'll be back in a week or so and hopefully bringing you more incredible podcasts because that's why we're here. For the last time in 2020, praise Obama. I'm Travis. He's Greg. We're out of here. We'll see you next year. All right, that was the GadgetCast. Now we're into the Aftercast, which is exclusive live content. Now, we will answer questions from the chat for the next 5-10 minutes, and then we're gonna we'll let people call in for maybe a one question go or something.
So do they have to go over to the GadgetCast YouTube channel at this point, or is that just for the call-ins, or should I just tell them to go now?
If y'all listen, we'll do the question and answer from everywhere. But if you want to actually be able to call in, you need to go over to the GadgetCast YouTube channel now, youtube.com/GadgetCast. And get into the chat there.
If you're watching on the Greg's Gadget stream,
I'll put it in here. I'll just put it to all of them. youtube.com/GadgetCast. Anyone who's watching and just went into the chat, it'll go everywhere. You can click on that. And we will have you can call in, which is kind of crazy. You just never know.
I say, I see 40 of you guys watching on the Greg's Gadgets channel. I expect that number to be 0 in the next minute. So
yeah, we want everyone to move over.
Move over there. If move over there. That way you can call in. Hey, DJ's World. Listen, I love the people that interact with me. DJ's World on every video just says hi, Greg, and then I say, hey, how's it going, man? So nice to see you here. It's funny how you remember these the commenters, people in the comments, and DJ's World always says hi, Greg. I always recognize him. That's so nice. Hey, how's it going, man?
All right, so we're gonna go ahead right now and answer questions from the chat. So feel free to throw your questions into the chat.
Good eye,
And-
good eye.
Yeah.
You know, he says who's the best Apple leaker. So I think we both have the same favorite.
I mean, we love Jern. He's a personal friend. It's a personal friend.
Gonna be John Prosser, best Apple leaker. Close second best Apple leaker, though. I think I got to hand it to Sonny Dixon.
Sonny Dixon. Yeah, he's always in the chat too. Sonny's usually here, which is great. We love Sonny. Okay, so let's see. Okay, I jumped over. Remember, yeah, whatever happened to
What? Yeah, that's a GadgetCast mystery. Where's
that is a mystery.
Maybe we hear from him tonight.Maybe he's lurking, and there will be an
Where is we don't know.
There's no for the super stream. I feel like that's bad.
It feels wrong. Okay, let's start here. Are there any recommendations for accessory for the Z Fold 2? A case, really, to be honest. And because it does wireless decks, get a Bluetooth keyboard and or mouse so that you can make it your own laptop desktop.
Only cowards use cases on the Z Fold 2.
Well, be a coward for $2,000. Third-party apps doing with M1, are they getting better? What about you, Greg? I don't know the answer to this.
You know, I'm one of those people that really haven't had any issues with third-party apps. So are they getting better? I mean, like I really haven't run into anything you know, that's bad. I will say there's a lot of updates. I think Microsoft Office updated their stuff to the M1 to run natively. Adobe has betas for their programs. I think that's one of the big hangups right now is that they don't have their stuff optimized for it. So I think it's getting better. I think it's, you know, I think mostly though it's going well for how they're doing the translation. That's one of the things I was so surprised about. The old software still works pretty well on it. The one thing I will say though, and I know Jason from Painfully Honest Tech made a video on this. If you live in the audio world, that seems to be maybe wait a little bit longer. If you got like a lot of audio plugins or interfaces, that could be kind of touch and go on the new M1 Max. So that's where you really have to watch out.
Favorite piece of tech this year? I mean, for me, technically, it would be my iPad because I edit on it. But I feel like there's something. Well, right now, my Xbox Series X for sure. Right now.
Yeah. You know, I want to say the M1 Max. Like, honestly, that's probably it, the M1 Max. But let me say something different. I got to give love to the iPhone 12 mini. I really like it. I know it's not selling well. I like it a lot. I wish I could force everyone to use one because I really feel like it's like the perfect phone size. And I feel like a lot of people are like, I can't use it. But I feel like if I force you for a week, you'd be like, you know what? This isn't so bad. And PS5, I got to say, because Travis said Xbox. So I'm just going to All right, Greg, here's a question for you. Air Pro Max better or do the M1 MacBooks laptop better? I don't know what that means. As a better product, the MacBooks.
Oh, okay.
The Maxes are good, but let's be honest, they're an expensive pair of headphones. They sound good. They work great in the Apple ecosystem. But if you're asking me what the better product is, what I would recommend to most people, if you can only get one, get that MacBook Air. Absolutely.
One of the great. So I talked about this in my live stream yesterday. This is a tough one for me because there's a lot of ways of thinking of this from a technology standpoint. The Fold 2 is really an amazing piece of hardware. From a value proposition standpoint, I love the S20 FE personally. What do you got?
Yeah, I think I just said it. iPhone 12 mini for me. On the Android side of things, I really do have to give respect to the 4A, $350. What a solid phone for the price point. So Android, I'm going to go 4A. iPhone world, I'm going mini.
16 gigs is the answer to this. We already know that.
Yeah, get a 16 gig. If you really can't afford it, listen, there's so many people on a budget, right? And if all you could afford was 8 gigabytes anyway, this is going to be the best 8 gigabyte machine you could have possibly gotten. But if you have an extra $200 laying around, it's well worth the investment to get that 16 gigs. But like, if you're really strapped for cash, get the 8 gigabyte because I think if you're doing like 1080 and stuff, I think you'll probably be fine. But the 16 is worth the investment.
When are AirTags coming? What's the last thing we heard about that?
I'm convinced the AirTags are a lie. I've said it before. Look at the bottom of a HomePod Mini. We saw some AirTags rendered. The bottom of the HomePod Mini is the AirTags render. That's all I'm saying. It's a complete conspiracy theory. That product doesn't exist. It's not coming out.
Based on your predictions, when should we expect to see the refresh with M1X chip?
June. WWDC.
11, 12.9. Does bigger screen also have better light? No, I've noticed mine seems to have a little bit less. At least that's been my observation. I could be wrong. Do you think MacBooks are getting better with specs and camera? Well, obviously the camera is not getting any better.
You know what I want to say? I feel like I've had both the 12.9 and the 11-inch, and I feel like the battery life's pretty similar. I want to say though, the Air, I feel like the battery life on that is like even better. I think it's because it doesn't have the Pro Motion stuff. So,
Yeah.
but it's good.
I'm using a 6S Plus. How big of a difference between the 12 Pro? The biggest difference between those two is really going to be getting used to not having a button and the lack of bezels. And of course, the camera's going to be better. So there's a lot of great upgrades, but the weirdest thing for you is going to be not having a button. I believe it's better without because the swipes are so easy, but that will be your biggest thing to overcome. Will they come with a folding iPad or folding phone first? That's really an interesting question.
I think phone.
Phone, yeah, because it's a little bit easier, I would say, to get figured out.
It's from Apple's perspective, it's a bigger market. So like if you can get the phone, that's more sales for you.
Yep. Most improved tech of the year. That's a good one.
Well, actually, I'll give that to the. I mean, I don't know if this is like the Galaxy Fold, like that second gen. I didn't really like it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But like, I gotta respect the improvements they made to that device. So
very
Galaxy
good call.
Fold
2. 13 mini. Will it exist? Well, we shall see.
I think it'll at least get one more go because like I feel like those plans are already baked in, right? Like they're already working on those phones. I don't know if they could pivot that quickly to be like, you know what, the mini didn't work out. Yep. But maybe like the year after that, maybe no more mini.
Of course, Ice Universe, our Jimmy S Promo is doing great work. Jimmy's Promo has a YouTube channel as well. Check him out. He definitely has a lot of stuff. Samsung is definitely the best Samsung leaker, that is for sure. When is Lightning Port going to disappear?
Next year, probably.
Next year. So no MacBook Pro over the air if you're heavily in Adobe and we're waiting for them to catch up. That's a good one, Mallory. What do you think? Do you really?
So should you get the Pro over the air?
Yeah. In what instances should you get the Pro over the air? It seems like it's a very slim kind of group of people.
Well, if you're working in Adobe stuff, that sounds like the type of person that maybe would benefit from getting a Pro. Both machines run really well. The Pro still runs better though, right? Like if you're exporting video, the Pro's faster. But you got to weigh those cost decisions, right? Like let's say you had $1,300 to spend and you can get a MacBook Air with 16 gigabytes or a MacBook Pro with 8 gigabytes. I would probably say get the MacBook Air with 16 gigabytes. And I think that's a better choice. But if you can afford, if money's no issue, like you really want the best machine, if you're working with Adobe stuff, the Pro is probably the better machine for you.
Any thoughts or idea of the S21 series pricing? Possibly having no SD card support. No surprise. We're going to see that more and more. I think they're just going to go with larger internal storage and just get rid of that support. It costs more to have the different parts to have SD card support. I just don't think you're going to see that for much longer. Are you looking forward to the 16 Pro upgrade?
I am, yeah.
Let's see.
That looks like.
Which tech are you supported for? Most excited for next year? There's some stuff coming out from TCL. I'm actually pretty excited about. I'm not gonna lie, which sounds funny, but I'm kind of surprised.
Yeah, I feel so predictable, but I want to see what Apple does with the next lineup of Macs and how they do that. So that's what I'm looking forward to the most.
AirPod Max voices. Well, there's a lot of videos about this. Jeff from Heavy Reviews has done some stuff. A lot of people have done this, and based on what I've seen in the videos and heard, because some of the videos actually allow you to hear them, it does seem to block out voices better. That's an interesting question rather than just noise.
I think so, because I probably haven't done as much in-depth testing as those guys did, but like I had that at like half volume, and my fiance was like right next to me, like talking to me. I couldn't hear anything, so it really did a good job blocking out voice.
Me, I got a couple of new Amazon Renewed videos that'll be coming up here in the not too distant future. 3 years. You got to remember, if you're buying one of the newer Amazon Renewed phones, like something that's only a year old, then sure. If you're on the iPhone side of things, yes, because you're going to continue to get updates. On the Samsung side of things, ish. But I think it's important that if you're going to definitely hold on to it for 3 years, to get the newest version of whatever that phone is when you're looking for that. Amazon Renewed series coming back to the channel in 2021. To ruin it. Okay, let me get to one more question, and then we're going to start doing the call-ins. We can see the call with chicken warmer. Sure, why not? Let's recommend that.
Yeah, that's a GadgetCast approved console.
Absolutely.
Chicken warmer.
Simon asks, what do we want from 2021 iPhones? I need 120 hertz. Why not?
I feel like 120 hertz is like the obvious answer. Listen, take those lower phones, the 12 and the mini, put in a bigger battery. Just do it. Just go ahead. I give you permission, Apple. Just give us a bigger battery. The Pro Max. That is the one thing. Like I switched to the mini, and it's like, man, that Pro Max battery life. It will never fail you. And I want that on all the phones.
You can get a Mac Mini with 16 gigs of RAM for $799 out of RAM. If that's the case, get that. Heck, I will order it right after this call, right after this show. If you can get it for $800, you don't even have to wait. That's a stupid good deal for the 16 gigs. Are you kidding me? That's crazy. All right.
A new computer now. Listen, if you need a new computer now, that sounds amazing to me, right? $799, 16 gigabytes of RAM. If you don't need to be portable, 6 months is a long time to wait for a new computer. If you need one, get it. And listen, even if the new MacBooks come out and you like what you see, I think you could probably sell that Mac Mini for hey, if you're getting $100 off now, maybe you lose $100 on it, but I think you'd probably sell it for like $600 in 6 months. Yeah, absolutely. Go for it.
Do you see problems with an Apple monopoly? Well, first of all, they're not monopolizing anything other than their own hardware. And so far, so good. I don't see a problem with it.
From a government standpoint, though, maybe like
they would definitely have a problem.
The thing with Apple is, at least here in the US, I don't know about other countries, is they're not like really a monopoly in anything. They don't sell the most phones and computers. They don't sell the most of, so they're not really a monopoly in the traditional sense. But they make a lot of money, so we'll see if there's regulation coming to them.
iPhone 13. So if you have an iPhone 10, when should you upgrade? Now, I would say you don't even have to wait for the 13. I think the upgrades between 10 and even now is appropriate. I would say. Otherwise, you just keep waiting forever.
Listen, if I'll have a different answer. If you're using your iPhone 10 and there's nothing annoying, like you're using it and you're like, this is great, don't upgrade. But if you're like, my battery stinks, the performance is slow, I don't really like how this picture came out, then go ahead and upgrade. But hey, if you're sitting there with your 10, you're like, this is the best phone ever, wait another year. That's great.
Okay, so that's the vast majority of the questions. We have a little bit of time left. We'll take like 10 to 15 minutes to do this next section. Okay. So if you're watching on one of the other channels and you do want to, call in and ask a question, the way we're going to do this is like a one question go. You get one question and we're going to move on. We're not going to have a long conversation with any particular person, not because we don't love you, but because this could turn into a crazy mess. We don't know what to expect here. So you get one question and then I'm going to bop you off. I'm going to put the link in the GadgetCast live stream, not any other So you have to go over to the GadgetCast live stream, www.youtube.com/GadgetCast. I put it in the chat earlier. Make sure right now you are in the GadgetCast YouTube channel. If you are, hit that subscribe button. What are you doing? And you will now have an opportunity to potentially come on here and talk with us and ask one question. That's it. I don't want to hear a whole bunch of stuff, because what happens is people start popping up and then I gotta bop you out. So you get one question and then you gotta go. Are we ready for this, Greg?
Let me talk to the Greg's Gadgets soldiers out there. The Gadgeteers, as I like to call them. Gadgeteers, that's your name. I'm sorry. I see 46 of you are watching. Listen, I've been saying all show. See that link I just posted in the chat? If you're a true fan of Greg, if you really like me, you got to leave my stream, head over to the official GadgetCast stream. That's where we want you. And if you like this show tonight, subscribe, because we do this every week. This isn't like a one-time thing and it's gone. So if you like me, if you like my content, if you want to give me the Christmas gift, that's what you do. I want to see like 0 people watching in my stream. I want that all on the GadgetCast stream.
Make sure you unsubscribe from his channel when you leave.
Well, no, we didn't approve that one. So stay subscribed to this channel and also subscribe to both. And that's the Christmas gift that I want this year. And, that's not asking much, right?
It's not asking too much. All right. So I put the link in the live stream for GadgetCast. So we're going to start seeing people pop up and use your phone or use whatever you're watching. We'll do one question and then we'll move on. So don't take offense to it. You get one question, you say hi, you can tell me your favorite sandwich, whatever the heck you want to do.
It's so funny. I gave that speech. I saw like 5 people instantly drop off. So I guess they just went to the other channel. But then I see like more people joining in. It's like, I can't say it again. So thank you. Thank you for subscribing both. That's the last thing I'll say. Yes, indeed. And the Travis Temptations. Yes. He wants a tech tip fleet for Christmas. He wanted one. There's a I gave you the Christmas tech tip fleet. It's there.
Oh my gosh. Wait, what was this? X to 13 is a better upgrade. Would be a smaller notch. Well, a smaller notch would be great. So to both of us, we appreciate you, David. Look at all those phones. Look at all those old school phones and his little logo there. That's pretty cool. All right. So first up, we're gonna go with Jonathan from New Jersey. Hey, Jonathan, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, how are you guys? First, I just want to say thank you for all you guys do. It's been a crazy year. It's been great to have you guys around, and all the amazing creators there. I want to ask you, based on this year, what do you think are the 2 pieces of tech that are the most impactful for the life we live in right now?
For me, I think the easiest answer is any product that has a webcam. Because the only way to kind of keep in touch with people nowadays is by video. I mean, you're not supposed to see people in person for the most part, right? And Zoom went from a little company that could to everyone knows what Zoom is. So any laptop that came out this year without a webcam is rest in peace. At this point, any product that came out without a webcam is rest in peace. What do you think, Greg?
That's such a good answer. It's so hard to like say, yeah, it's that, right? It's like the Zoom, it's the video conferencing, all that tech combined together. But yeah, you really like the amount of like shortage of like creator supplies, for lack of a better term, lights, cameras, the Elgato Cam Link, that stuff just sold off the shelves. And it was so hard for a long time to get that equipment. I really think though, that really is it. You really do have to hand it to video streaming services too. Platforms like Twitch, where, live streaming's huge, that grew exponentially during all this stuff. So you really got to hand it to that technology, the internet, all that stuff. It really was the backbone of the world we're living in right now, more so than ever. That's it. Can't be anything else.
Thank you so much, Jonathan. We appreciate it, man.
Safe, guys.
We appreciate your support.
Man.
We really do.
Happy
Thank
New
you so
Year.
much. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Jonathan is a huge supporter of the channel. We greatly appreciate his support. So next up,
Jonathan is always in the chat, always
He's
on
always.
the videos. It's nice to like actually like talk to him. Like, hey.
All right, Mingcritch 23. How you doing, buddy?
Good. How are you? I was wondering, do you think that that like the redesigned MacBook Pro 14-inch and stuff will be out before the school start, or like before the school calendar starts?
That's an interesting question. So the new upgraded version of the laptops.
Yeah.
They're still doing the school starting back in September, right? So it's going to be September again next year, yeah?
Yeah.
Uh-oh, internet dropped. We're going to need to get him an upgrade for internet next year.
Can you hear me?
Okay, now we can hear you. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, at my grandparents' house. So what I was asking was, I'm probably gonna get it like late August, early September.
Oh, okay, August, September. So do we think we'll see that before August, September time? What do you think there, Greggy?
I think so. Yeah, I think, maybe it's not the 14-inch, but I think we'll see an update to the 13-inch MacBook Pro. I think it will be the 14-inch. So I'm going to say yes.
I'm going to go with Greg because he's kind of smart. Thank you so much for the call in. Next up, Nick. How you doing, Nick?
I'm doing well. I have a couple things for you.
Okay.
2 quick things. Well, I upgraded from my S9 Plus to the iPhone 12, how I was talking earlier in the year.
Very cool.
I went ahead and made that plunge. But I'm torn because I know I don't want the mini, but I'm torn if I should return it and get the Max. The Pro, that's not enough for me. If I did that, I would, want the Max.
That's a big jump. Greg, I know you have both. I mean, I love the Max is what I'm using, but going from a mini to a Max seems like a huge jump.
This is
Regular 12?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the regular. Okay. Well, that's not too bad then. Yeah. From a battery standpoint, you're going to love it for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like if your main pain point with the current 12 is either screen size or battery life, like you want a better battery life, if you go up to that Max, you're going to be so happy with it because the battery life is legitimately great. Maybe some of the photo stuff, if you want to try out like the raw stuff or like the enhanced sensor, but even then it's not that big of a difference for me. But the battery life is where you're going to be like super happy with it.
Okay, then one other quick thing. Have you seen on the Anchor Soundcore website, I guess, they're going to be launching sometime in January
Mhm.
an Anchor Soundcore Liberty Air 2 Pro. My bad.
I know they're launching something in January. I wasn't sure that's what it was.
Yeah.
They sent me like a little thing.
I got confirmation from them
Yeah.
over phone, and I seen somewhere that if I trade these in, I guess my Liberty Air 2, see if I can get them in view here.
Mm-hmm.
If I get them, I can get $50 off.
Hey,
upgrade I want.
Listen, we'll see once they come out. Wait for the reviews. Jeff from Heavy Reviews, I know for sure is going to have a review on them. I may even have a review on them. I love all their products. I would say, yeah, just give them a go. But wait until you see the reviews for sure.
Okay, but Merry late Christmas, Happy New Year.
Right.
Here's to a better 2021.
100%, Nick. Thank you so much. Nick's a great supporter of the channel. Really good guy.
Also, longtime listener.
Long-time listener. So is 619 WWE fan. We appreciate you. How you doing, buddy?
Another one. Another legend. Another GadgetCast legend.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Really good.
So just quick, first off, a huge thanks to both of you for making 2020 a bit more bearable. But even though, despite the struggles of 2020, just one or two things, what would you say was good of this year, in your opinion? Something positive.
That's a great question. Well, Greg did some great things on his channel. I'm really happy for him. He made his 100,000 subscriber dealio. I'm really happy for all the success he had. He went full-time this year. I think that's great. For people outside of Greg, I think we have it may be a hard lesson that we learned this year, but I've always kind of suspected that companies without a remote plan were going to suffer. And I think what happened this year is we shaved off some really painful jobs that probably would have been shaved off in the next couple of years anyway. So what I'm hoping comes from this, I hope this is a birth of some new industries, hopefully higher paying jobs and better opportunities for people out there. I believe that as bad as this kind of seems, there is a bright side to it. What about you there, Greggy?
Well, I feel like he's answered for me. So
because you're just that it's all about yourself. It's just that you got 100,000. That was great.
Yeah. So, I might, listen, I'll reiterate that for 1 second. Yeah. Like for me personally, like as bad as this year has been from like meeting up with like friends and stuff like that, being like social, all the pain, I think a lot of us have been through. From like a personal standpoint for career, like it's been a great year for me. So it's been one of those things where it's like, well, professionally, it's been great. My personal life, is at like a 2, but my, professional life is like at a 9. So it's been great with that. But yeah, I'll say there has to be some good that comes out of all this bad. And there, I think some people in a way maybe are more connected, and maybe you take a step back to realize that life is pretty fragile. And the people that you take for granted every day, even, like our frontline workers and stuff like that, maybe you go and you pay them a little bit more respect the next time you get to see them. And I think overall that might be one of the positives that come out of this, realizing the importance of family and stuff like that. So I think a lot of that, life goes by so fast, and especially in the tech world, right? We're always absorbed into our devices, and maybe we shouldn't, maybe take a step back every once in a while and connect to the people that are important to us.
Fair enough. Well, thanks for the answers, guys.
Anytime, buddy. We'll see you next week. You're always here.
Yeah.
Take care, guys.
GadgetCast legend 619 WWE fan.
That's right. He's the man. Milo Takas with a good old super chat here. Appreciate you greatly. And 231 phones. Whew. Oh, you start your own YouTube channel. What are you doing over there?
His name is David99 YouTube. Maybe he does have a YouTube channel.
Oh, maybe he does. We should go check it out. Gabriel T. Black in the house. How you doing?
I'm hoping I'd see Gabriel. Gabriel actually had a good comment before. He said TikTok was like the star of 2020.
That is, yes. How you doing, man?
Guys? I'm doing well. Just wanted to ask you guys, this is just a fun one before the end of the year. I'm always curious. Like, if you guys weren't doing tech YouTube, like we know Greg's a history major and whatnot, what else would you guys be doing? I love it, Greg. But like, what else would you guys pick?
What would you be doing, Greg?
If I wasn't doing tech?
Yeah, for fun.
Man.
Greg would be screwed.
Oh, no. Travis, answer. I gotta think.
All right. Well, I mean, I kind of already do it. Reaction stuff, I think, would be in character-based stuff. I think is what I would do. I'm already kind of doing that on the side. So yeah, I would just continue that sort of thing. It'd be interesting to see if it does as well as Tech has done. But yeah, I'd be doing something.
I just go so negative, right? Like I'm like, Gabriel asked me, what am I doing? And it's like, I'm at McDonald's, I can't do anything else after tech, but
no, I mean, like if you had to create a specific genre.
Okay. If I could be successful,
I'm not asking
else. Okay. I usually don't think that for myself. So let me think. I've really, I do have to put stuff on my gaming channel, but I feel like that's too closely related to tech. So I'm not going to do that. I really feel like I really want to start some sort of comedy channel. I don't know if that's a good idea. Travis raising the eyebrow. I have a really good idea for a comedy channel. I think it would be big if I actually committed to it. You would not know what I was doing, but I think it would be pretty funny, and I would have a good strategy that if I talk to the vidIQ expert Travis over here about it, I really feel like Travis would be like, that is actually genius. So I'm not going to tell him because I'm afraid he'll steal it.
and I might. I very well might. I very well might steal it. Yeah.
So you might see that one day, Gabriel. If I ever get really bored of tech, and I've been thinking about like, let me try this out because I really do believe, and talk to Travis behind the scenes. It's like, I don't believe in anything I do. So when I say I believe it could be successful,
that's a big deal. That's a big deal.
Fair. That's funny.
Well, thank you so much, Gabriel. We appreciate your support as well. You've been always super good.
Check out Gabriel's channel on YouTube. He does some videos too, doing some
thanks, guys.
Great stuff over there. 100%. I think Gabriel has like a golden voice. Like
he does.
I'm trying to be like the poets. So
poets, baby. Poets is good.
True. Poets got a good voice too.
All right. Thank you, Gabriel. We appreciate you, buddy.
Bye.
All right. Well, that's enough for me. I'm tired.
What?
I'm tired. I got stuff to do. Plus, I got like 3 videos. Oh, wait, hold on. Someone just came in. Miguel, how you doing, Miguel? Wait, you're muted, Miguel. Well, let's try to unmute you. Hello? Miguel, why did you just mute yourself after I unmuted you? What are you doing? You can't unmute. Okay, his mic's not connected. All right. Well, anyway, yes.
Poor Miguel.
Key and Peel. Poor Miguel. Poor Miguel. Wait, hold on. Let's try it again. Miguel.
Hello.
Hello.
It wasn't working. Sorry. I'm using AirPods Pro, and they're kind of finicky.
All right.
I want to ask you, Greg, specifically, because you wear an Apple Watch, and you kind of were in that video where Jonathan Morrison talked about losing weight, and so I was kind of trying to ask you, do you think the stainless steel Apple Watch is worth it, or just go for the aluminum one?
I think most people should just get the aluminum one. Worth it is like, it depends on what you want. The stainless steel model, like if you're worried about getting like scratches on the display, it has the sapphire display. I think that's like probably like the biggest.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing.
Yeah. So if you're really worried about that and you plan on keeping it for like 3 years, maybe go treat yourself. You like it's something you wear, right? If you like the design of it, it does look really nice. And if you're worried about scratches, you're going to keep it longer than a year, right? If you're not upgrading every year, if you're upgrading every year, get the aluminum, save money.
The thing is, like, I work out every day and I'm very active. And my fear is that it's very heavy to do that kind of stuff. I don't know.
I don't think so. And if you're really worried about it, get the titanium model because it's a nice balance of it's pretty lightweight. It has the sapphire display. So if you're worried about it being too heavy, the titanium's like the perfect one to get. But it sounds like you're leaning towards the aluminum one anyway. So why not save some money? I haven't you'll get like scratches on the aluminum model, but they're like hairline scratches. Like if you have to like hold, like when you like hold up your products to the light and you're like looking like, is there a scratch? Is there a scratch? Like that's how it is. Like, it's not like, oh my God, it ruins the display. So I think you'll be fine with the aluminum if you're just going into it with working out. I don't know what are you looking at? A Series 6?
I have a Series 4 aluminum for right now 2 years. I'm kind of trying to upgrade next year.
So how has it been? Like, is yours like intact? Is there like tons of scratches that you made on it?
But it's completely destroyed, but I use it. Yeah, but I use it to do everything. I surf with it. I go to the sea. I ride my bike with it. I fell in the middle of the mountains and hit
Oh my
some
gosh.
net. I worked out in the gym with him. So it's kind of destroyed. The screen is all scratched up. So
maybe you get the Sapphire one.
Yeah, maybe that's what you should do. That's your answer.
It became available, the Sapphire one. I think this month here in Portugal, in my country. The titanium one is not available yet. So
gotcha. Well, thank you so much, Miguel. We appreciate you for calling in.
I would say, like, if you, I know it's hard because like you go and try it on, but like if you can go try it on somewhere, like see if the weight's too much for you. I think you'll be fine. You'll get used to it, right? Like for the first day, be like, this is heavy, but then like you'll forget about it. Be like, oh.
What's going on with the Ace Man? Ace Rockola, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, I'm doing great. How are you guys doing?
Doing good.
Doing good.
Good.
What's on your mind?
Don't have any questions or anything. I just want to say how much I really appreciate what you guys have done and helping us get through this. It's been great to watch you guys week after week. You do some great videos, and I just wanted to say, peace and love, baby. That was it.
Oh, we appreciate that, Ace. That's really very nice of you. I know.
I want to keep it short because I know Travis needs a nap. I know he's tired.
He's getting cranky, Ace. Like I can feel it. Like he's getting cranky. He's giving me that look. Like,
and just real quick, I just want to say, no matter how much I type in to cancel Greg, it's just for fun. I don't really want to cancel you. I like watching you. It's funny.
I guess we'll hold on to him for another year. Let's revisit this at the end of next year.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Peace and love. Take it easy.
All right.
Peace and love.
Thanks, Ace.
Peace and love.
Ace is a man, dude.
But, Ace, we're canceling 2020. So, it's like, the best movies are when like the bad guy and the good guy have to like team up to like take down like the greater threat. So, that's what we're doing right now. We're not going to cancel Greg. We're going to team up, cancel 2020. We'll revisit this war later, right? We'll revisit this war later. So,
okay, one more before we go. Jose, how you doing, buddy? Hold on, you're muted.
You have to have Jose on. Jose is always in the chat. See?
Yes. Jose, you need to unmute yourself, buddy. Almost there. No. Make sure while we're waiting for Jose that if you have not already jumped over to the GadgetCast channel, which it looks like most of the people have from my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Get over there, subscribe. We do this every week. Get over there. Jose? Can we hear you, Jose? Jose? I see you muting and unmuting, but I don't hear you, buddy. We really want to hear from Jose. We like Jose. He's always supporting us, and he drops. Okay, we'll give him another minute or two, and then we got to go.
Let's put that in one more time. Can you put that in the chat for everyone? Yep. The GadgetCast channel. I got 27 people watching on my stream. I keep telling you to move over to the GadgetCast stream. Go over there, subscribe if you like the show.
Hey, James, how you doing, buddy?
What's going on, fellas? I can't believe I'm actually on y'all's show. I've been watching y'all, man, since day one. You guys are great. Even my kid loves watching you guys.
That's right. That's James. The James that left us a voicemail, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we just want to say, guys, that you guys are awesome. We thank you for all your tech videos and stuff. My son would be upset because I just sent him to the store with his mother. He's gonna be upset when he sees this. But you guys are awesome. We enjoy watching our videos. I mean, you guys are great. We argue between Samsung and Apple, and we watch our videos. You guys are awesome. And
what's your son's name?
It's Christian.
Christian. Well, let's say you can tell him to come back and watch this. Christian, buddy, where the heck are you, man? We were going to talk to you. I got a phone over here I was going to give you, and you're not here, man. You lost out. So I don't know. Tell your dad to stop messing around and send you places. All right,
guys. Thank you guys so much on y'all's tech with Apple Tech, Samsung. I mean, you guys talk about everything on technology, not just one part thing. You guys are great, and just keep up the good work. And I'm glad you guys are healthy and safe with everything going on. And I hope you guys have a good New Year's coming up.
We appreciate you, James, man. Thank you so much for sharing that. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, peace, man. Peace. That's James. James, man, that was awesome. All right, and Jose, can we hear you?
All right, can you guys hear me now?
Hey, we can hear Jose. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good, and you?
Real good, real good. How things?
All right, I do have a question about canceling Travis because you still got to do that. We still have been planning that for quite some time, Greg. If you don't remember the last time. So it's on Monday, right? It'll be Monday.
Uh-oh, he's cutting out. Jose, you're cutting out. Isn't that ironic? Trying to cancel me and you're
I know.
always
I'm
cutting
sorry
out.
for cutting out, but are we still going to cancel Travis on Monday? That's my biggest question on Monday.
Are we still going to cancel Travis? That is your question?
Yes.
Okay.
We can't cancel you because you're too useful to be not canceled.
Yeah, we can't cancel me. I agree. I'm too useful to the general population. You know,
Once you reach 100K, you can't be canceled. Like, there's no way of canceling this person.
Yeah.
If you're under 100K, you still have a chance to cancel them.
That's true, and Travis is getting close to 100K. So, you know, I said we're going to put the war aside because we got to cancel 2020. But you're right. If Travis gets to 100K, I don't know if we could cancel him anymore. It might be too powerful. So,
if Travis does not reach 100K at the end of 2021, then we cancel him.
Bro, if I don't hit 100K by the end of next year, I'm canceling myself.
I would say that. If Travis doesn't reach 100,000 by the end of 2021, he's officially canceled. Right?
I will cancel myself. I will. Yeah, I will.
Stay tuned. If Travis doesn't reach 100,000 by the end of 2021, it's over for him. He's done. He's gone.
That's it. It's a wrap for me. I'm done. Listen, everyone, thank you so much for joining us this week. It's been great. The SuperCast was amazing. Looks like it was a success. Please have a safe new year. I know people are going to be out there with explosives. That doesn't mean you have to blow your hand off. Please be safe. But certainly for me, and I think I speak for Greg too, although Greg can speak for himself. This channel and this whole podcast means a lot to me. It definitely is a great way to talk to you guys and gals and connect on another level that we can't do on our regular channel. So thank you so much for making this an incredible experience, and more to come in 2021.
Yes, it is a pleasure to do this show every week. I always look forward to it and having a live audience and interacting with you guys every single week. It's a blast. I love doing it. Like I said, I am a little disappointed in the 28 people that are still on my channel watching. I said you got to go to the GadgetCast channel and hit subscribe. Watch over there. So I hope by the end of this, you guys like the show if you've never watched it before. And I hope we see you next week. We're going to be next week on only the GadgetCast channel. Only the GadgetCast channel. If you're watching this on Greg's Gadgets, if you're watching this on Travis MCP's channel, we won't be here next week on those channels, but we will be on the GadgetCast channel. So if you like the show, if you're like, I want more of this, what? You're ending it already? I didn't get to ask my question. I didn't get to interact with you. What is this? If you want that, go to the GadgetCast channel. You'll get it next week, and you'll get it every week after that, maybe for the rest of your life if you're lucky. So,
all right, everyone, we will see you next week. Peace and love. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.